kids, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today's video is going to be a budget related video, but it's going to be something different than what I typically post. I know that I need to sit down and film my budget results video, take a look and see how I did for my first week in the month of January. But as you can see in front of me, I have my monthly planner from Erin Condren opened up to the monthly calendar where you typically would see all of my transactions for the week. Today is Monday the 11th. I have not put a single transaction into this planner. I have been very demotivated. I have not wanted to sit down and take a look at my budget. I have not wanted to enter in my transactions. I haven't been paying super close attention to my spending, which is bad. But because of all of those things, I haven't taken the time to put my transactions in. And so I thought it might be fun to show you how I track my transactions in my monthly planner. Now, I don't recommend that you wait until the end of the week and then go back in and put all your transactions in. When I'm on my game and I'm doing a good job of keeping track of my budget, I usually go in at the end of every day. Sometimes if I'm super busy, it'll be every other day, and I will take a look at my receipts for that day. I will take a look at the various transactions. I will have my cash envelopes open and I'll be looking at those. And I will write down the transactions for just a day or two at a time. That keeps me on top of my budget. It allows me to see, how I'm doing, and it also keeps it from being too super tedious. So that's how I recommend you do it. I recommend that regardless of how you track transactions, if you do it in a calendar system like this, or if you just do it on a, typical notebook paper and list them out, maybe you just keep track of them digitally. However you decide to do it, I highly recommend that you take a look at your transactions on a daily or every couple of days basis, and you don't wait until the end of your pay period to kind of go back and see what you spent, because that's not a great way to really keep track of things. So I have not been on top of my game lately, but because of that, you guys get to see the process. So the way that I track my transactions is using a calendar system, as I mentioned. I have the Erin Condren monthly planner where I keep track of everything, and I use a color coding system and stickers that I make myself using my silhouette portrait. So all of my transactions are broken down by category, and each category gets a color. And I have a little key here, as you can see. So that light blue color on top, I write in any bills that I paid throughout the week. That dark gray color is debt, so extra debt payments are made, are put in using that. That light green is miscellaneous, pink is grocery, light purple for gas. That dark purple is my personal spending money, yellow is eating out. The dark green is household, which I'm not really using so much in 2021. I've gone back to tracking my grocery and household all kind of under one umbrella, which will get tracked in that pink color. So really I need to make a new key, but for now we can just use this. Or maybe I'll do a key along the side here. And then anything I pull out of my sinking funds is in orange, and anything kind of unbudgeted is in that dark pink color. So I have sort of three main ways that I spend money. I will often use cash, which I have my cash envelopes for, and that's one way that I will pay for things throughout the week. I also will occasionally swipe my debit card, and also, of course, I pay all of my bills and stuff through my bank account for the most part. And then the third way that I pay for things throughout the week is using a credit card. We have one credit card that we use for a lot of transactions, and then every single week at the end of the week we pay it off. So we use it so that we can take advantage of the rewards. It is a city double cash card, so we get cash back on all of our purchases and things. So any bills that we can pay through that credit card, for example, our phone bill, we can pay through that. We can pay our electric bill through that. Any bills that we can pay through our credit card, we do, and then we just pay that balance off at the end of the week. So it's money we would have been spending anyway. We don't use that card for anything that we don't already have the money on hand to take care of the transaction, but we do like to use it to, like I said, reap the rewards. So when I go to sit down and track my transactions, and like I said, I typically do this on a daily basis, I will pull out any receipts that I have from any cash purchases that I have made. I will open up my bank statement to take a look and see, you know, what cleared my account, that sort of thing. I also typically, because I'm doing this at the end of just 1 or 2 days, can remember the purchases and transactions I made, and that makes it really easy. And then I will also, you know, take a look at that credit card statement and see how I made purchases that way. And then I will just break those transactions down by category, the categories we just talked about, and I will put their totals in using these stickers. I made these stickers using my silhouette portrait. As I mentioned, I just chose random colors, created this. It was super easy. I am planning on doing a kind of like vlog type video where I talk about how I make stickers using my silhouette portrait. It's not going to be a full-on tutorial because, you know, I'm not going to get super technical with it, but I will show you kind of the process. And that'll be posted sometime in the next couple of weeks. But it was real easy. I just print and cut all of these stickers, and this is how I break down my transactions. Now, you do not have to do a sticker system to track your transactions. There are so many creative, fun ways you can keep track of your spending. This is just what I do. So I have my calendar spread. I have decorated it really pretty with stickers from Caffeinated Kate, and then I put my transactions in here. But you could simply jot them down, like I said, on a notebook paper. If you still want to do a color coding system like this so that you can take a look at the end of the month and see where your money went, what categories you're spending most in, etc., you can do the sticker system like I do. You can use highlighters and just, you know, highlight your transactions, write them in directly on the page and just highlight them based on the category. Choose a different color for each category. You can break it down to as many or as few categories as you like, whatever works for you. If you're not interested in the highlighter method, maybe you just write each transaction in a different color ink, or maybe you don't keep track of it by category at all. Maybe you just like to be able to look and see, kind of like a check register. I had this much money, I spent this much money, this is how much money I have left. You can easily do that with just pen and paper. You can even print out like your bank statement and go in with the highlighters and highlight things that way instead of writing them in. How you track your transactions is not nearly as important as just the idea that you will be tracking your transactions. I highly recommend that you take a look at your spending, really follow closely along with where your money is going. My biggest tip for beginner budgeters is to not immediately even start with a budget. It's just to take a look at your spending and track your transactions for a couple of weeks or a month to really get a feel for how you spend your money. So that's my little spiel. Now let's go ahead and actually start tracking the transactions. So to make it easier on myself and to prevent me from accidentally flashing you guys like credit card information and stuff, I went into those various sources of spending and I wrote a little list of all of my transactions for the week. I did it really sloppily in this notebook, just went down the list each day, wrote out the transactions from all of my various sources, and now we're going to get these put into the planner. Because my husband gets paid on Tuesday, we start our week on Tuesday. So we're going to start our transaction tracking right here on Tuesday, January 5th. I went and I looked at my credit card statement, I went and looked at my bank statement, I pulled any receipts, and I found just a couple of transactions for Tuesday. The first being a grocery transaction. I spent $8.12 at Walmart. And if we look again on my key, we know that grocery is this pink color, so I will just sort through my stickers here, find the pink sticker, and then I will just write where we made the purchase, which was Walmart. I know that it was groceries because it's in pink, and I spent $8.12. Easy peasy. And then I will just take that and stick it down on Tuesday. So that takes care of that transaction. Next up, my husband went to Lowe's. He needed some electrical things. He was rewiring a switch here in my house. Now that is something that I could take out of our sinking fund for our home maintenance real easily. I could. But I have money in my miscellaneous fund, so I'm going to go ahead and just take it out of there. That's sort of a judgment call. I don't get too caught up in semantics with what, you know, what fund I'm pulling from each thing. It's all my money. I can choose to spend it any way I want, really. So I'm just going to take the electrical stuff that my husband purchased at Lowe's out of my miscellaneous fund. And we know that miscellaneous is in this light green. So once again, I'm just going to pull in my light green sticker right where the transaction happened, which was Lowe's. And the amount that was spent was $16.94. And then that will get stuck there as well. And that was it for Tuesday. The only other transaction that I made on Tuesday was I went ahead and made my debt snowball payment. We know that debt is in that gray color, as we saw here. I typically put any minimum payments I make under the bills category, but any extra debt payments I put in gray. So again, I'm just going to kind of go through here, and I think I'm actually all out of my dark gray stickers, so I'm just going to do it on this light gray sticker. And I will know what that means. So we're just going to write in my debt snowball payment, which was $173, and put that down on Tuesday as well. And that will conclude all of the spending I did on Tuesday. And then usually I would be done by now. Like I said, I typically just do it 1 or 2 days at a time, so it takes like 5 minutes at the end of a day. But because I got lazy and didn't do it throughout the week, I have a lot more work to do here. So now I'll move on to Wednesday. Wednesday was the day that we did a lot of transactions. We had our typical grocery order that I picked up on Wednesday. I had a few other things come out, so let's just go ahead and knock this out. So like I said, groceries, I went to Meijer this day, picked up my weekly groceries, and so we're going to write that in on a pink sticker, and I spent $134.08. So that will go in on Wednesday, and then at the end of the week, what I will do, oops, I kind of cut that off a little bit there. The end of the week, what I will do is go in and I will add up all of the pink stickers, and that will tell me how much I spent on groceries for the entire week. I'll add up all the green stickers, and that'll tell me what I spent in miscellaneous. And then I can just compare the numbers of what I actually spent to the numbers that I budgeted and see whether I'm over or under budget. So that's essentially what I'll do. I'll go in every single day of the week, write in all of my transactions, color code them, and that is essentially it. It's a really simple process. It doesn't take any time at all, especially if you're doing it on a daily basis, and it really helps me when I'm on my game to stick to my budget, because I know that if I get to Friday and I have already used up my grocery budget, that I don't need to be going grocery shopping anymore for the week. So it just helps me to stay on track. I really highly recommend that you spend the time to track your transactions. I'm going to go ahead and go in and finish filling in my transactions for the week. I think you guys kind of get the gist. So I'll just sort of speed through the rest of this and we'll get this done. Okay, so that is a look at how I track my transactions. As you can see, I got everything put down here. I was out of a couple of the colored stickers that I had on my key, so I just went ahead and made a new key and pulled some other colors. So whereas my kind of gasoline category is typically this light purple color, I was out of that, so I used this navy blue instead. Just to track the car wash that we did this week. And you guys saw I used the lighter gray instead of the darker gray for our debt payments. So I need to make an updated key that I can move from month to month, but for now I just stuck it along the side here. Tracked all of our transactions, so we have some grocery transactions, a few miscellaneous transactions. We have just the one under the gasoline category. One under extra debt here. You can see we used quite a few of our sinking funds this week, primarily our birthday sinking fund. I tracked the transactions that I made using my personal money, and then I just went ahead and stuck a sticker in here for unbudgeted, but we didn't have anything that was an unbudgeted expense this week. So that's how I do it. I just sit down, decide what category the spending goes under, and I put it in. At the end of the week, then I will go in, add up all the transactions in the various categories, and see how closely I stuck to my budget. But you guys will see that in my video later this week, my budget results video. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video and got a little glimpse into how I keep track of all of my spending. If you are not tracking your transactions, I highly recommend that you do. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if this was helpful, if this is something you would like to see again sometime in the future. I don't think it's really necessary. I pretty much laid out how I do it. You can kind of shift and adapt this to your budgeting style, as I mentioned. But yeah, I highly recommend that you give this a try. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends!